Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen. So, hey, do you need a 5-minute Christmas gift? Well, I got the perfect tutorial for you today. Making some ornaments, and they could be either Christmassy, like this one. Super sweet, super simple. Takes you like 5 minutes. No kidding with this. Super easy. Or a nice little landscape, which is so sweet and simple that you can make and be really impressive for your friends and family. They'll love it. And actually this could be used all year round. So if you change the ribbon from red to like a pretty color or change the frame to a gold, super sweet. I'm telling you, any beginner and skill level person would love to paint something like this. And if you just have no time and you want to create something really kind of cool. And if you're a Patreon member, you get the one with the sweet little cute house. It's really cute. If you want to be a Patreon member, click the link in the description box below to become a Patreon member, where you get additional tutorials, extended tutorials, exclusive ones on Thursdays that are much longer, more in depth. They come with line drawing and photographs. And it's where you support my free content here on YouTube, which I really appreciate. And there's a lot more other perks too. You can check it out with the description. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to go over a few supplies and things. You can pick up any kind of really cute frames at any craft store like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or even any kind of online supply store, even Amazon. I got this really cool antique brass one years ago. I can't remember actually somewhere online. It definitely wasn't in the craft store. It's just a cool one, so you can have like one image on each side, which is kind of cool. Or just to show that your drawing is in the back side. And they're like 3x3, not 3x3, a little bit smaller than 3x3, like 2.5 by maybe 2.5 inch. Really kind of cute. And you don't have to just stick to a Christmas theme. You can do something different, which we're going to do today. I have like a million tutorials, if you're looking for Christmas themes, on the Mini Mondays. All these, this is some of the Christmas ones that I've done in the past. You can click, go on my YouTube, just my regular about page, and then all along there's like bar is like videos, shorts, playlist. Click the playlist and you'll see all the Mini Mondays. I stopped doing Mini Mondays because it wasn't becoming, something that people were viewing anymore. So every now and then I might bring it back. And there's some cute little birds that I've done. Some of the great little scenic ones. Lots of snowmen. Look how cute these snowmen are. Oh, how'd that get in there? I'm trying to show the Christmas ones. Snowmen. Here's another bird. There's some nautical. If you want a cute little lighthouse. This is like Branch Lighthouse in Nantucket. Great little scenic, simple winter scenes. Now this is small enough that probably could fit in that frame. This is something I was doing a long time ago when I was selling those antique brass veins. I was putting things like this in there. Here's some like cute little chickens in the winter scene. This one was pretty popular. I kind of recreated it. Then you can just put regular ones. So this is like one of my super popular Mini Monday Madness. These two right here. You can click like I said, the playlist. And look at how pretty, you can just do a pretty scene. So today I was going to do like something like a pretty scene. Even this simple, like beautiful spring scene would be really kind of pretty in the frame. And it doesn't have to be Christmas. It could be Christmas related, but it's a great gift idea. So it's a great Christmas gift idea, a great gift idea. So somebody could put this in their frame and they can put it on the Christmas tree, but they could also just take it out and hang it in their bathroom or their kitchen or wherever. So, like I said, you pick up these little frames at like those craft stores, and then you just take your wonderful arch paper or great watercolor paper. I don't like to use, because it's a small area, skimp out in the paper. I cut the sizes here that go in the frame here for the paper in arch paper, because we're going to paint a really kind of a beautiful scene in between something like this, which is really simple. Maybe add a little house like this. And, maybe you could do like a winter one that looks like that, but just winter, right? You can do it 2 seasons, 2 ways. Just kind of romantic and pretty. I also like this one with the blue. Something similar to that. Play around with that. This is a simple super easy if you're just starting out watercolor and you're like, you want to make a great gift for somebody. You just started painting and you're intimidated. This is it. This is so simple. I'm going to go over like a few of these, how to make some really cute ones. So obviously this is smaller than this. Boop. But you can use the Mini Monday Madness videos and just make it a little bit teeny smaller. Yeah, when you go really small, it's less intimidating. It goes pretty fast, so you can paint it pretty fast. And to paint something really kind of pretty like this, like a spring kind of, it could be spring or not spring, but kind of floral like this. It's very simple. You just take this little piece, like I think it's 2.5 inches square, and I zoom in, and I'm just gonna take a pencil and I'll just figure out where I'm gonna put my land mass. You can always have it curving, going up or down. Now, very, very simple. You could put a border by just taping it. I don't think it's necessary. And for the brushes, I would use for something like this. I could go with my big old number 12, kind of crazy, because it is a tiny little area, but very, very simple for bleeding in color. Or I might just go down to a smaller size, like even just like an 8 round or a 10 round. This is the Velvet Touch series. It really doesn't really matter so much about the brush as long as you can just handle controlling it. So let's mix up a little paint. For the sky, it could be a pretty cerulean blue. I have a color here, cerulean blue from Holbein. Now I use Holbein because it's the colors that I like to use because they have very vibrant colors. Daniel Smith is another great brand, and then there's Winsor Newton Professional. So one of those three. There's a couple other ones too. Marimi Blue, Marimi, I think they're Italian brand, and there's a couple other ones, but those are the ones that I personally use. So I am going to use my 12 Aqua Elite series. So for something like this, we mix up the color ready to go. I'll have a little ultramarine blue deep over here in the corner, and just add a little touch of burnt sienna so you get like a nice little gray. And we also want some green ready to go. So you always use cadmium yellow deep. It's a very versatile yellow. And I grab a little Prussian blue. And you get multiples of greens here. So you get this one light green. And if you add more Prussian blue to it, obviously you get darker. And I always add a tinge of burnt umber or burnt sienna just to take off that bluish green. So you have that medium light green, and then we have a dark green. We want the greens ready to go because if you're going to bleed in kind of like green trees like we see here, boom, you want it ready to go. And this is the wet on wet technique. Very simple technique. Really take a few seconds to paint something like this. So this area that we masked off, like this is the ground and this is the sky. We'll just take our big old brush, grab some clean water on it, and just put water on this area alone. Like I said, this shouldn't take more than 5 minutes, really, if you think about it. If you have all your paints mixed ready to go. Now you grab your blues, right? I might lift it up here, help you, and just swipe. See, I'm doing a little swipes. It's good to have a big brush. Leave a little white in between. Maybe a beautiful sky. You can go down here a little bit with the blue. When I'm always lighter on the bottom. But see, we have a nice sky. And we grab those other two colors, the blue and the burnt sienna, and just adding a little bit more depth. So I'm just tapping in with my big brush. I can go back with that cerulean blue too. We have some nice deeper clouds. Now you can keep it bright and pretty with the cerulean blue. We'll go back a little bit more, make it brighter. Or just, you can do the blue with the ultramarine blue and burnt sienna. It's up to you. Keep it simple. So now it's still damp. Okay, it's starting to seep into the paper. We're going to grab the darker green. Going to get a little bit thicker with the paint. You want to be able to move the paint. Get my green. Got some yellow. Okay. Mixing up some more color. So you'll be easily moving it. And all we're going to do is just basically tap. Tap, tap. See? Tap, tap here on the bottom. to create the tree. And we can add the light green. Tap, tap here. You're just tippy tapping, going up a little bit. And there's our pretty trees. I'm leaving a little space in between the two. And let all that paint just do the work. If you want to turn it upside down and go like this, it will start to bleed downward. See that? And get some nice little spikes. Look how cool. You just tapped on the paper, just a teeny bit of paint. It did all that work for you. That's why doing small was kind of fun. And maybe just do tiny little teeny wee taps on the bottom here in between the two. It's like a little bush. Look, did that take any effort? Teeny taps. Right? Now we can start to use the greens. We can get rid of the blue, but going on the ground. Now I have like a pond here. You can keep a pond. You can do non-pond. You can just do greens. I don't know. Maybe I'd do a pond again, or just not. Maybe on the opposite side. So I put a little line going down here. Completely up to you. Or you don't even have to have one at all, right? So I'll take my green, maybe add a little bit more yellow. I always have a paper towel close by and tap off any excess. I don't want it to bleed into the greens we just did. And by the way, if you want to give a little more depth, you can just add, now that it's starting to seep into the paper, a little bit of darker green on the bottom here, in the front of these ones. A little bit, even thicker paint, like right out of the tube. I'm going to grab some of the blue, brown, and yellow, and it won't move as much. See? It will hardly move. Giving a little bit more depth, depending how thick the paint is. It's good to have a variety. Just go a little bit tippy tap here with the dark green. Maybe even grab a little bit of burnt sienna or brown, whatever you want to do. You can just play around with that a little bit, but just before that is fine. So I'm grabbing my lighter green. I'm going to leave a little space in between the two so I don't bleed into it. If it bleeds a little bit, it's fine. I'm going to leave that space for the pond on the left side. A little bit more green. And it could be kind of lighter on the bottom and get a little bit deeper as we go up to the top. Again, I'm holding this down my finger. Grabbing some darker green. See how it's bleeding still? Right in here. And add a little bit dark green here. Right on the edge of the pond. And you can throw a few little marks down below. I'm going to keep the bottom pretty light. I'm going to grab some thick, basically right out of the tube on my tip of my brush, some burnt umber and some green. And now it shouldn't bleed if it's really thick. I'm just going to put a little bit here on this edge where it meets the trees. It's not bleeding, which is good. That means it's kind of seeped in and it's kind of done. Go back and add my little green in here. There we go. A little bit darker back here too. So it's kind of dried now, which is nice. Simple, simple, simple. Don't make your life crazy, right? We're just doing all those little things. And if you feel like this tree is here got a little too light, we can wait till it dries and we can do a little bleeding again. So right now at this point, you want to wait till some of it dries, but I'm going to grab my blue, my cerulean blue, and I have ultramarine blue deep, whatever blues that you have that are nice. I can mix the two. And I'm going to water it down for the little pond. Just kind of go like that. Fill it in. You don't need white caps because it's not an ocean. It's a pond. Just a little pond. And I'm going to add a little cerulean blue. I like to mix a couple of blues. Look at how nice and bright that looks. So pretty. Really simple. And I feel like a little bit of this green, if you want to brighten it up, you can add a little yellow. Well, let's wait till this dries and we'll start tapping in just some simple flowers. And that's a pretty beautiful gift that didn't take much time at all to give to somebody. So now I'm grabbing my 4 Umbria liner brush, grabbing some dark green paint, and I'm just going to put some grasses here in the front, just looking in a curved motion, going back and forth, all these little grasses, you know, short ones here, and you can grab some and put them like longer towards the front on the left side. I'm just doing some little short ones right here, right now, and I'll just go back in and grab it, and I'll connect it and add some bigger ones. You don't want to have soldier grass. You want to have the grass kind of connect and kind of cluster together in one little section. You don't want a grass blade, a grass blade, a grass blade. Say that 10 times fast. You want them to cluster together so it looks a little more natural. You kind of have them going over the pond here, little teeny ones out back, all that. So it doesn't look fake. It looks like it's meant to be, you know. Otherwise, you just, we were obviously making up a fake kind of scenery here, but you want the items to look actually real. So I'm going to grab some white watercolor. This is Winsor & Newton. And I don't want to water it down too much. I'm just going to tippy tap some little white flowers using a number 4 round brush. Whatever brush you have works for you too. You don't have to use that. If you find that it's too transparent, it's too, you can't see, I mean, you can't see the flowers, use whitewash. No one's going to care. And you're just basically tapping in the color all over wherever you want to have flowers. Obviously making little ditzy flowers. You can add in many colors. You can add in some bright yellows, some purples and pinks. You can go to town with this. Make it more impressionistic, like with all the very bright colors once the painting is dry. So I'm going to grab some of my bright cadmium yellow deep and put that in there as well. Like I said, you can add purples, pinks, you name it to this thing. The sky is the limit. I add a little white watercolor to it so it actually makes it a light yellow, or add some whitewash to it, make it light yellow. You can play around with that for days. I have a lot of tutorials on mixing that and having that and changing that up. Super fun. And it looks so romantic and pretty. Just like a nice little mini landscape to go into your little cute frame. And grabbing some purple, whatever color works for you. So now it's dry. I'll just stick it in the back of this ornament holder, put my thing back in, put this back on. Look how sweet. Now I might change out the ribbon. Maybe it would be cuter in a golder frame, but look how cute that looks. A great gift to give somebody. They would love it. Super sweet spring one. We can work on a really quick winter one. And then there you go. For the simple winter romantic one, again, just map out where you're going to put the horizon of your trees or whatever, and your land. I'm going to go like, again, similar kind of scenario. Lower goes upper here. And we'll mix up some colors. And this time we're going to bleed like evergreen trees. So I'm going to mix up some cadmium yellow deep and Prussian blue and a little bit of burnt umber. Again, a little bit darker. Mixing it, see how I'm mixing that up until it gets like an evergreen color. Voila. Now I can do the bright green. And now I'm going to take ultramarine blue deep and a little bit of burnt sienna, and I'll have my bluish gray kind of tone for the sky. Or it could be bluish green. You can play around with either one. Have fun with it. I actually might do that. I may actually water it down and I have my Prussian blue with my little green here ready to go. We'll see. I'll play with a couple of things. Okay, clean off my brush. I'm using the same number 12, Aqua Elite. You can use whatever brush works for you. I'm just going to water this area from this side up here. Right, we can play with the blue. And I'm going to do this motion like up and down like this. right? And add the bluish green. But getting to the side is fine. So it could be like background trees. There's the blue, ultramarine blue deep. Gonna lift a little white. And so we did the blue, Prussian blue with the little yellow. So you got this pretty kind of bluish green. And I kind of went over my little snow area, but it's okay. I can kind of lift some paint up. Go like this, not a big deal. And grab my evergreen kind of green color. Going up and down. Smaller ones on the bottom here. Up and down. See? Little point, and a little wiggles going down to a triangle. And a bigger one kind of on the side. Here. Darker color, thicker paint. Look how cute. So simple and fast, right? Thick paint here. I'm going to kind of flank and put a couple little ones. Just the point, like up and down. A little point here. Wiggle. If it's thicker paint, it will not move as much. And then we have our winter trees. Look how fast that was. It goes really fast. This literally is a 5-minute card. See? And add a thicker, darker color again for this front tree. I want to get a little point on this one. As it's drying, it's easier to do that. Again, thicker paint, hardly any water. It won't move as much. And you get those evergreen trees. How long did that take us? Minimal time, super sweet, easy. When I say 5 minutes, I say 5 minutes. That literally took a minute. I'm just cleaning up my brush. Now, we don't have any water down here. It's not going anywhere. We can start to play with this a little bit. Take a little bit of water on our brush. Go on the side, kind of wiggle, and blending this paint a little bit. Right? That's the snow. We can grab some ultramarine blue deep. Okay. I'm going to go add a little blue. And then dry brush some of it. Clean up my brush. Kind of blending some of this. Doesn't look like it's a shadow. Grab a little teeny bit of this blue. Right? Wiggle. I think it looks so pretty. Minimal effort. This is like when you're like, oh God, I gotta get a gift. I got nothing to give. And I got 2 seconds to do it. And look how pretty that was. Super simple. If you want to get a little bit darker, I'll add a little bit more blue. It's just going to highlight like the sun's coming in here. See, it's kind of lighter in here. We'll take our wonderful liner brush. We'll grab some burnt umber. We'll make some grasses. Just a little bit, just a few. Couple of grasses down in front. Just a few. And then from those, if you want to get really technical, we'll take the ultramarine blue paint, the deep paint, water down, and we'll make some shadows from the grasses. And now it looks super professional. So now I'm just going to loosen up some white gouache. I have some wonderful gouache here. And with my big brush, I always like to tap it on another brush or a utensil to make the snow. And little taps, and there you go, this beautiful romantic snow to make it all beautiful like a snowy day. Perfect little simple landscape, winter landscape to put in your frame. Super easy and doable for any skill level. And this literally would take you 5 minutes to do this. Really kind of cute though. I mean, so simple. It looks so sweet in the frame. So there are the two that came out so cute, super simple, didn't take much time at all. Here's the additional one for Patreon members. Click the link in the description box to become a Patreon member. It's where you support my free content here on YouTube. and I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I hope you had fun painting it as much as I did, and I'm sure your friends and family will love it. Take care.